now recording.
Perfect, that's Randy.
For both of you guys, what is it defensively about the third quarter that really just locks you guys in this second consecutive game where you guys really changed the game on that side of the ball in the third quarter?
Becky's cutouts. She really kind of shows us what we're doing wrong. And you want to go out there, you want to correct it, because that's the whole point. We can't have slow starts, either it's in the first or the third. So for us, I think we just mentally lock in the third quarter, because obviously we've been sharing a couple words.
Yeah, I would agree. I also say like we've grown as like a veteran team in terms of we've kind of over the years been slower starters in the first quarter and the third. And so I think that's just kind of a testament to people's lock in. And then also I think we're just in better shape than we were in prior years. I think that everyone has taken upon themselves to like kind of take that next level. And so I feel like that's kind of a big part of why we're able to kind of turn on the gas and just sustain it.
And then Asia, obviously, it's a very different Connecticut team than the one you guys played in con. Just, I guess, how much does it feel like they miss Bree and everything she brings for them?
I mean, Bree's a huge part of their offense, of their glue, and we pray for her every single day, recovery for sure, to bounce back, because I know it's hard for her and also her team, but I think this is obviously a faster con team. I feel like con looks different every single time we see them, that they're just that good. They utilize their players and they rock and roll out of that. So you could tell that they're missing a big piece, but for us, we have to continue to lock in on our system and understanding that every single team that we see, they're going to look different from when we've seen them before. So we have to hone into us and make sure that we're doing Aces basketball.
Thank you.
Asia, it's been 16 games now, but what has the difference been with Candace as far as the spacing goes for y'all on offense?
We're playing and we're getting used to each other, and we're understanding exactly where people want the ball and how they stride and how they're playing their best basketball, playing to their strengths. And I think just over time, we're playing a lot more, whether it's in practice, we're communicating a lot more, and now we're starting to just gel and mesh. And I honestly feel like we still have a whole lot to do. But right now, obviously, Candace Parker. She's a legend, a Hall of Famer in this league. So she's going to do her. And I think she's surrounding herself with all-stars, like us. And we're just going to continue to gel and mesh and form that chemistry together. So yeah, congrats KP too.
I think it was the first game of the finals last year, and somebody asked you, Asia, can you repeat what Becky said in the locker room? And no. So today you bring it up again. How important is that really for this team, no matter what lead you ladies have, that it's really like treated as if you guys are down. I mean, you're up by 20 and you need to come off the bench in the fourth quarter. It's as if it doesn't matter when it's the spread, it's all about correcting mistakes and getting out there and do what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say what I want to say because she kind of just walked into the room, but but no, Becky makes sure that we never lose sight of who we are. We have to play Aces basketball for 40 minutes, no matter who we're playing, no matter what the score is, I don't care what's going on the outside. She makes sure that we never have lulls and just feel like we're just complacent in where we are. We have to continue to play and value every single possession, because these games matter just as much as the games in the playoffs. So if that means cussing us out, and
I don't do that, do I?
but yeah, we just go ahead and play Aces basketball.
Four of your players made the all-star team. How proud does that make you feel, Coach?
I hadn't even got the news. Not that I'm surprised, she deserves to be there.
But just how proud does it make you as the head coach of your star players to get some recognition from the media, from players and other individuals around the league for hard work?
Well, I appreciate the recognition because I think quite frankly, at the beginning of the year, it was missing a little bit. And so now that they're starting to get some of these accolades and stuff, I'm excited for them because they put in the work. And they've done it with class. I mean, people talk about how fun we are to watch this and that. I'm like, as fun as it is for y'all, like to come to work every day with these guys. They're not only phenomenal basketball players, they're phenomenal people and they're fun. I'm like, they are fun. And so, all the accolade, like I tell them, like when everybody gives, and these girls are giving everything they have to each other. And you have that buy-in factor, like everybody gets more, everybody gets recognition, everybody's going to eat. We just have to keep staying together, keep being who we are, keep being who they are, and then I'll roll with that group any day.
Before we go to the Zooms, any more for the players, before we do Zooms for the players, Cassandra?
Yeah, actually, for KP, you mentioned that you feel like this team is in really good shape right now. How much do you feel like the new training facility has helped you guys get into that great shape at this point in the season?
It's just been such a blessing. It's a big part, I think, because, you know, you get to, in the past, we're moving around different places, high schools, the different places and like, maybe there's a weight room there, maybe there's not. Maybe there's a cold tub there, maybe there's not. And so now it's just like, it's at all in one place and you get to really like be on your P's and Q's of like, okay, this is what I need to recover. This is what I need to, maybe I need to do a little bit extra cardio, but like, it's all there. And I really do feel like it's allowed us to kind of take a step as professionals. And you see the product on the court, like, I think that's a big reason. And I think that like, we've been able to hire a strength coach. We never had that in the past. You kind of were on your own. And so I think it's a big part. And I think that's why you see people just elevating their game, because you're able to like fine tune things, and everyone knows at this level, it's all about like the little details and the fine tuning. It makes the biggest difference.
I'll say this too. I mean, if any of you guys have been around athletes at all, they are creatures of habit. So it's not like, oh, are we going to be in this gym? This is like, they have all their stuff. They have everything right there. They know where the gym is, where the weight room is, where they can go and get therapy. So that makes a big difference. And it's not like you can get all your work done in one place. Like just the efficiency with their time. They're not driving across town because now they got to go lift over here. It's just, it's necessary. And, everybody got to get one, because we want the best product, put them in the best housing. And we got a facility and a housing situation that I feel like puts them in great positions to be successful.
All right, let's go. Jesse in the room, then MA on Zoom, and then we'll let the players go.
Kind of what Becky was talking about, just for either one of you guys, with the group that you have, how much fun it is being around you guys. I know that it's a grind, especially probably this week, with the teams you're playing here. How much easier does it make it to come to work, to put in that work to do when you have the group like that?
I mean, coach said it, like, this group is a lot of fun. And I think there's also a lot of personalities that don't get a ton of credit. Like, I think one of the reasons we've been able to keep this lightheartedness and like fun, like uplifting, is because our bench is so like, it just infuses us with like energy, love, encouragement. They come to work every day and they bring it. And so it's like, it's not just the core four or Candace, it's everyone, and they don't get a ton of love, but like, I promise you, like, I walk into the building smiling because I know Cindy Colson is next to me and she's gonna say something that's just gonna make my heart smile. You know what I mean? Like, that's just KB, like Kayla, we just have Kia, we just have so many people that just are just genuine, amazing human beings. And I think that goes a little bit under the rug, because a lot of teams, a lot of times you're like kind of trying to bring your bench along, and it's really the other way around, and it's just a blessing.
MA, one for the players.
Yeah, thank you. This is actually for Asia and Coach Hammon. You want to weigh in on this too? Actually, this is an all-star question with the reserves being named today. Asia, this is your third time as captain, and I wonder. I know the picking teams is fun, but there's some strategy to it too. And do you and Becky actually talk about that? I know you were coaching and Team Wilson together last year too. Do you guys talk about your strategy before you do the pick?
Michael, she didn't ask me one damn question.
And I don't really have a strategy. I really just be going. I really just be like, where can I just make sure we get good core posts and guards, and the rest is in Becky's hands, because like at the end of the day, we're just trying to have some fun. But yeah, I don't really have a strategy. I think I should get one. I got some time, kind of. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting this year for sure. I'm locked in. I'm ready for it.
Gotcha.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later about.
Let me know what y'all want to do.
Yeah.
If you want. You better pick me or I'm gonna cook you.
I gotta pick on my teammates.
Your teammates are gonna get snatched. They're too good to leave sitting on the board.
Let's start on the Zooms, Nikias or Christos, whoever's got one.
Hey, I can go. I have a quick one for Coach Hammond. You've been around basketball for a very long time, obviously. Is this the best passing team that you've been around?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That 2014 Spurs team could really pass the rock and move the rock. And the cutting, our cutting has got better because when you cut hard, you get the ball. Run faster because we get the ball. So when people are like, how do you get your team to cut hard? How do you get your team to run fast? You have passers that will pass it to them, because if you keep sprinting out or you keep cutting and you never get the ball, pretty soon you quit running and you quit cutting hard, because why am I doing that? I never get the ball. So having passers that really reward that kind of pace and space and just hard cutting, and you get rewarded with layups. So they're a fun group to watch. Chelsea, Candace, and I'm gonna throw Plum in there. Elite passers. I feel like, Chelsea gets us some layups and stuff. Plum gets us threes. So they kind of dissect the defense differently. And then you got, a playmaker in Candace, and Jackie is another one. Like, I mean, even Asia, everybody, it's like, they're ballers. They make the right play, they make the right read, and we're starting to develop chemistry that we have like little eye contacts with each other and that is something that takes time, but you're starting to see it come along. Just like the other day with Asia dropping that dime to Jackie on a backdoor cut. Totally but that wasn't the play at all. They're just reading and playing basketball, and there is no defense for that, because you're making the play out of what you're seeing going on. So the defense does that, our offense does this. You do this, we're going to do that. And so creating that synergy within each other. And like I said, it's a fun way to play, because when you're open, you get the ball. So cut hard.
Andy?
Becky, I know you weren't worried about Candace's scoring or anything, but she's got 15 points in 3 of her last 4 games. What have you been most happy with or impressed with on that?
She just fighted her spots. Obviously, when she hits threes, it's a little bit of a separation factor for us, but we really like her in the short roll and the dunker. I don't mind her mixing in threes like she has been, where she's shooting 3 or 4 a night. I don't want her up around 8 or 9, threes, because she's too valuable in other spots. And so we really have had a focus on getting her into some spots where I think she can be successful, in turn we're successful. She's just ultra deadly. She gets in that paint area or that low block. She's just so long, smart. She just sees things. And so we've been trying to get her in those areas a little bit more concerted effort, and her focus level too, of just finding those areas and going to work.
Jen on the Zooms?
What's that?
Jen on the Zooms?
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the win, first of all. I have a 2-part question for you. The first part is, what is that motivation that navigates this team getting better and better as the season goes on? And the second part is, how better this team can be until the end of the season from your perspective and from what you see so far?
Well, I mean, today's kind of a perfect example. I thought our defense blew. Just not engaged. We had a, honest talk at halftime, and they came out, and when they want to play defense and are engaged, what I'm trying to do, Christos, is get that for 40 minutes every time, not play into it. I called a quick timeout because they were on pace to score 32, 33 points in the first quarter. And that's too much. That's too easy. It's too much. It's not what we're about. So just keeping them locked in, and it's a little early game today, of course. And I thought it took us a minute to kind of get going, but I don't want to play or ease our way into things, especially on the defensive end. If there's an end that you want to dive into and be locked in on the defensive end, because it's going to create some easy ones. And once we get some easy ones, like I said, all the time, this is a game of confidence. It's very empowering, encouraging for everybody when we're getting stopped. But I thought in that third quarter, I don't know if they scored for about 5.5 or so minutes. But it's a separation factor for us. So at the end of the day, I'm not coaching against the opponents. I'm saying, are we being who we're supposed to be night in and night out? And through that, we're trying to create, like I said, winning habits by going to work and holding each other accountable. Let me tell you, they hold me accountable too. If they see something they don't like it or it's not working, they let me know too.
Jen?
Hi, Jennifer Porty from Let's Talk Women in Basketball podcast. I know that you once said the best play is no play, just play. So I'm curious to know when your team went on a 16-0 run in the third quarter, were you guys setting plays or was that them just playing?
I mean, we were just playing out of our defense. So like I said, when you're getting stops, we're active, we're up and aggressive. It's a game changer for us. Our clips at halftime were all of us being soft, not touching anybody, being reactionary instead of dictating action. And so I thought that the film at halftime that we went through was very glaring, and our smalls, our guards definitely stepped up, answered the call, saw it on tape, because it's different. I can say it to them in the huddle and they're like, I am up, I'm doing it, but then when you see it, it hits different. So they saw it, and what I said, you see it, now do something about it. And they did.
Also, Asia Wilson, she surpassed you for most games with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in Aces franchise history. So I was curious to know, what does that mean to you?
Sorry, Jennifer, go ahead.
Also, Asia surpassed you for most games with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in Aces franchise history. So I'm curious to know, what does that mean to you to have a player who just surpassed your record?
I'm curious to know when I got 5 rebounds in my career.
She did it in a row, consistently in a row.
Oh man, I don't even know that's that. You guys come up with some stuff. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, I mean, Asia's gonna pass everybody in every record book. So I'll just, wherever I land, but I fully anticipate being passed by multiple players that I'm coaching now.
Thank you.
If someone's got a good one, you're willing to fresh it? Okay.
So Becky, Asia called your halftime talks, you get cussed out, you said honest words. You guys are the leading team in the WNBA in third quarter point differential. Besides obviously having those kind of talks, what kind of adjustments or what are you guys doing? Because it's back-to-back games now. You've gone on these big runs right out of the halftime. Are they just looking at the film, or are there other adjustments you guys are making right out of halftime that have allowed you to have these big runs and back-to-back games?
Well, I'm somebody who, if we come in with a game plan and I don't feel like it's working, I am not sticking with it. Like, we're going to change, we're going to adjust. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we do, their buy-in factor and their effort is the difference maker. Like I said, I could give them the worst scheme in the world, and if they go out and do it really hard and try hard, it'll probably be okay. Vice versa, if I give them a great scheme and they don't really try that hard in it, it's not going to be very good. And so I thought their effort got better, and we did go in and make a few adjustments. And so at the end of the day, I think in the NBA, you give any one of these players a steady diet of the same thing, they eventually figure it out. You have to switch some things up, give them different looks. And sometimes it's a matter of just, stealing 1 or 2 possessions. Okay, on this, we're going to do this. And, going out there and executing it. But the main difference in our second halves, I think, are just going in, seeing it, seeing what we got to do differently, and then going out and executing it.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Aces are off tomorrow, light practice Monday, full practice Tuesday, coaching down with Wednesday.